Hey y'all, welcome back to Mulberry Branch Farm. My name is Ashley and it has been a hot minute since I've spoken to this camera. It's been a hot minute because you guys have literally been seeing footage from March, mid-March. The last video you guys actually saw from us was Mossy's birth. And boy, was that an intense birth. Goat births are probably some of the most favorite videos for me to make, but I really love bringing you guys through, making it a learning opportunity to share a little bit of my world and to bring it into your world so that we feel a little bit of a connection. But I am sad to say, guys, that is the last kidding video you will see this season. And trust me, it's not because we didn't have more goats kid. It's because yours truly screwed up in a big way and I kind of suck at YouTube. You would think by now that after almost 2 to 3 years of filming and doing the whole YouTube thing, that I would know I need to back up my files when I am overwhelmed, life is happening, and I don't have a chance to edit all the footage that I've been filming since March. Can you kind of guess what happened? Yeah, I lost all the footage from mid-March until now. And I'm a little heartbroken, not just for myself, but for you guys. I love bringing you along on all the things that have happened. And I'm gonna be really honest, life got overwhelming. The economic climate kind of brought me down. And it really put me in an ant mentality versus a grasshopper mentality, which means I was really worried about food, the security of food, getting ready for what's on the horizon, whatever that may be. And I kind of lost sight of like the whole YouTube thing, not to mention we've had a year of just exponential growth. And in case you can't tell behind me, I'm in my new raised garden beds. You guys didn't even get to see this get planted. You didn't get to see us fill it with hugelculture. You didn't get to see any of that, because I forgot to back up my footage and I lost all of it in a little bit of an accident between my iPod and my iPhone. Storage cleanup and me being a little antsy to get a video out because I haven't been all that great at it lately. So now I'm going to do a huge disservice and I'm going to try to catch up the last March, April, May, June, July, last 4 months, the last third of a year, by just showing you some pictures of what's been happening on the farm and trying to share with you and doing it a huge disservice through verbatim and not through you guys going through the moment with me. So I am really sorry, but the last 4 months have been insane. One of the things that you guys missed was actually our first ADGA show. And I took Willow along with 3 other does. I took Sunny, Pinky, and I took Mo. And we went to our first ADGA show. It was amazing. It was a great learning experience, and we actually walked away with a ribbon. So when you walk away with a rosette from an ADGA show, it means that you won Grand Champion, or Reserve Grand Champion, or Best in Show. There's a lot of rosettes that can be handed out at an ADGA show. But in Ring 2 at that show, Willow earned her first champion leg. Good job, Willow. It was really exciting. And when I tell you it takes weeks of hard work to prepare for a show, if not months, I'm not lying at all. We had to clip goats, wash goats, trim their hooves, clip them again. And in the process, I may have clipped a little bit of my own hair. Okay, I looked at the ground and I think I cut my hair. I don't know if you guys can, I don't know if I'm gonna find it. I might have to, you guys might see me come back with much shorter hair. I'm like looking at it and I'm like, that kind of looks like Pinky's hair color, but then I'm like, it's so long. So I think I cut my hair while I was shaving my goats. I'm a little freaked out now. I wouldn't be able to tell anyways because I don't usually take care of my hair, so. This really does look like my hair though, so I cut my hair along with my goats. Goats revenge. But nonetheless, we walked away with a rosette for Grand Champion for our girl Willow here. Willow actually got to be in the Grand Champion drive twice. Once as a first place doe and once as a second place doe, which means she would never have been able to get Grand Champion in the first ring where she was a second place doe, only reserve Grand Champion. But in that ring, she didn't get either, but she did get second in her class. And while you did get to see a couple of births. You got to see Willow have babies, Tiana have babies, Merida, Mossy. You saw Squeakers come into the world and be odds. But you don't know a lot of these faces. You don't know a lot of these faces, and you don't even know a lot about the management that we've been doing here this year because of milk testing, because of shows. We've actually done a lot of things differently this year. So I've got all this year's crop. Now we actually have had some kids go, but this is Pinky's baby. I actually caught him mid-air. There's Squeakers, our little Lazarus baby. This is Prim. Back there is Queenie. You guys saw her. There is Chicken Hawk growing up good and strong. And we've got Blackberry just chilling out over here with her 3 lovely does behind her. Then we've got some of Belle's kids back there chilling out. But you guys missed so much, and I am so heartbroken that you didn't get to see these kids all nice and wet and gooey when they first got spit out. But you get to see them now. And a lot of these kids, as we go forward with our videos now that we get to be current, we'll look at the silver lining of losing all of this stuff. That the silver lining is now everything is current. So you guys will get to know these girls as they grow up, as they show up more on our farm. And you'll notice these guys are pretty friendly. And they're friendly because we changed our management program. So while you didn't get to see a lot of these guys' birth or entry into the world, trust me, they're sweet, they're wonderful, and you will get to know them as they grow up. Right, Margie? Right, Margie? So this year's been a big thing, a big learning year for us, a really big learning year for us, and you would see all of the trials and tribulations had yours truly backed up her footage. And of course, you guys missed this. You missed our garden being put in. I did go ahead this year, and you can see that we've done it different. We've used the landscape fabric and just burnt holes where we're gonna plant our seed. So this was like a whole thing. So we ended up having a propane flamethrower thingy. It looks kind of like this. And we just went down the line after we got all of this laid out and tacked down and burnt holes where we wanted to be able to plant the seed. But guys, I know that some of you out there have been telling me I needed to do this for years. And my back is upset at me for the years that I heard you and then I read your comments and still said, well, I feels like it's cheating. My back feels cheated now because there are no weeds. There are no weeds, and even though all of this corn was actually put in a month late because life has been crazy, like I said, it's doing really well. It's just starting to tassel out right there. You can tell we've had to make sure that the goats can't get to it, even though Willow is doing her darndest right now to reach the corn. Really, really doing her best to fit through. I've caught you in the act. I have seen what you're doing, and you guys can tell, like, there have been some that have been snagged, but I can sacrifice some here on the end, especially to my little Grand Champion. They're just so spoiled, but I'm bad because I let them be spoiled. But there you guys go. There's our garden here, but you guys have not even seen our raised garden yet. And let me tell you what, I'm a little impressed with the work that we've done. This is our raised garden, guys. Look. I mean, this is probably the biggest and best garden that I've ever grown. And I've been gardening for a while. So we got all these finished. You guys see that we're doing the cattle panel trellises, and that I have a cattle panel trellis in here, and everything behind me, there's cucumbers, there's loofahs growing on this side, cucumbers on the other side, but everything in the middle, this jungle, this deep, deep jungle, is tomatoes. Lots of different types of maters. Lots of different types of maters. You can see they're growing big and beautiful in here. I have one, they're just now starting to ripen, but you guys can kind of see through to the other side. But I have to thank you, Mark. I have got to thank my husband for making my dream come true. It is everything that I have wanted and more. It's just one of those moments too when, like, you've dreamt about something for so long and it's just finally in front of you, and it's just the wave of emotion hitting, like, realize, blessed you are. Okay. Oh, I've already missed a tomato. Boo. It's already fallen. But nothing goes to waste on a farm. Nothing. They're happy for us. More back in here. Just you're starting to see the pops of red come through all over the place. Oh my gosh. And there's cucumbers down here. So we're gonna have to start getting ready to pickle. Bought a canner, y'all. I bought a pressure canner. I've got banana peppers. Looking so good in here. Got some jalapenos in here. There's a lot, and Indiana's going through a little bit of a drought. So my tomatillos are doing really good. They're looking a little sad today, which they've been doing that a lot because it's been getting really hot here in Indiana, like super hot, like in almost to 100 every day with crazy humidity. And they kind of just look really sad during the day, and in the evening when it cools down, they're just bright and cheery. So, but here's we're like right on the other side of where we just were. So we were over there, now we're over here, and you guys can see that we've just got that had beets in it. I've already pulled my beets and harvested. This was all brassicas. So we had Romanesco broccoli, we had purple and white cauliflower, regular broccoli, and then we had peas and lettuce in here, which was cool weather, already been harvested and eaten. They've already been et. So, but this is what's going on with our garden, guys. I'm so sorry you missed it, because I didn't have enough time or effort or wherewithal to hit the backup button. So when it comes to the ducks, what have you guys missed with the ducks? Well, there's a whole lot more ducks. And around the time of April, May, these were all fluffy ducks. They're all fluffy ducklings, and they're not anymore. Look at these guys. You guys are so pretty. They've got a pond. And they stinking love it, and we love watching them on it. So you guys can tell we're still not done with the duck pen. We're still not where we want to be with the pen, but you know what? That is okay. That's on the still on the to-do list. So we did get our electric fence hooked up. Now I've been using the Premier One fencing a lot, but then my ducks were getting out of it. They were getting underneath of it, and then they were going to the road, and I was getting pictures from neighbors saying, hey, are these your ducks in the road? And then I knew I had a problem, because I don't want to cause any type of accident in the road, and I don't want to lose any of my ducks. So we decided we were going to go ahead and hook up the Premier One fencing, and it's worked great. I actually have the other bundle out there. We'll be putting in more for them, but that's what you guys have been missing around. And I know I'm missing a lot. You guys have missed fair, you've missed part of softball season. We've missed so many things to share with you, but I hope that now the silver lining is that now we're current. Every time you see me, be pretty much that time of year, and I've learned a pretty tough lesson about making sure that I either stay up on the editing, and if I can't keep up with editing, like I hadn't been able to do from March until now, that I need to be backing up everything on my hard drive. Because I'm not gonna lie, and you can ask Mark, there were a lot of tears shed, there's a lot of angry words. Google probably got sick of seeing me search, how do I get these back after they're deleted? But I'm just glad to be current with you guys now, and I can't wait to keep sharing things with you, because even though you guys have missed so many goat births, now I can show you all of the cute babies. I can share with you the breeding plans. We can be pretty current, and you won't be seeing things from July around Christmas. And this year we took another huge step in furthering our knowledge of processing animals, butchery, and learning how to be more self-sufficient. We actually processed our first goat. And yes, he was born here. We raised him. From the day he was born, he had the best life, the best care that he could possibly have, all the lovin's he could actually want, until his one bad day. The good thing about that is that we didn't have to go through that experience alone, because even after all of these years of deer hunting and processing and field dressing and learning to process our own chickens last year, getting ready to do it again, and helping others learn how to process chickens, there's just still something really somber and really heavy about taking an animal's life so that it can sustain your own. But we were lucky that experience. We got to partner up with my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, and they actually brought a male goat that they also needed to process. So we kind of tackled that together. So it's nice to learn in a group, and as awful and as heavy as it is, and as glad as I am that I still feel what I feel, which is remorse and empathy and sadness in taking the life of an animal to sustain my family's lives. Goat ribs are the bomb, y'all. Goat ribs are the bomb. And that also kind of feeds into why I got so overwhelmed with filming. You know, if you've been with us long enough, you know, we're very involved with 4-H. We're very involved with my daughter's softball team. We do a lot of things with our time. We don't ever have idle hands. And on top of that, we were doing ADGA shows, we were milk testing, putting in new gardens, putting in duck pens. You know, we were just doing all the normal homesteading things and all the normal maintenance things, and it just got to be a lot. And then when you throw in the economic climate on top of everything else, where there's just a lot of fear mongering, which I wouldn't say that it's unwarranted. We should always try to be prepared. But there's just something about that that really got it into me that I'm going to be the ant and I'm not going to be the grasshopper. So a big reason why I wasn't able to edit and that I wasn't able to keep up with you all is I was more focused here on the farm. I was more focused on harvesting any type of meat, learning that knowledge, setting our family up for sustainability when times get tough, including the dog under the trailer that's murdering a mole right now. Can you eat mole? But I would absolutely be lying if I told you that none of that ever bothered me and that it hasn't really done something to me, like in my heart and in my mind. We've touched on it a couple of times, like during lives when we were able to do them, is that it just puts all this at the forefront. It makes this the most important thing. It makes getting the garden in the most important thing, keeping the garden healthy the most important thing, keeping goats and milk important, keeping goats growing well in case for some reason we might have to butcher, making sure that we have good skills when it comes to foraging and self-sufficiency, when it comes to practicing with, you know, tools that can help you to survive when times get hard. So those have really been at the forefront of my mind. And the whole like trying to build a performance herd of Nigerian dwarf goats while also trying to be self-sustainable and trying to build up our farm to be exactly what we wanted it to be, which is something that we can rely on. It's something that we've put a lot of blood and sweat and tears into, and that we've really tried to take the soil that we're on and to better the soil and to take care of the ground, because then the ground takes care of us in turn. And it's just been really heavy. I've just felt really heavy with how things in the world are going, and it's really put my focus onto the farm. It's really put my focus onto preparing and getting ready and making sure that the knowledge and the skill sets and the everything is there. And here lately, things have started to slow down, but then I remembered you guys, and I remembered why I started the channel, which was to share knowledge. So while I've been busy trying to gain knowledge and to learn all that I can and to take some things to the next level, I really need to be passing that on to you. I really need to be passing that on to other people that want to learn. So that's why I'm back to editing, and maybe this was a silver lining. Maybe you guys didn't need to know about the birth of all these baby goats. You didn't need to know about a lot of things. And now we can just be current. So I'm excited to be current with you guys. I'm excited to embrace whatever is going on the farm. Next one is we've got chicken processing coming up, breeding season's coming up, deer season's coming up. There's a lot of things going on the farm, guys. Can't wait to bring you along with us. But I thank you for being here, listening to me catch you up, not doing the best justice that I could do, and sharing those moments with you and those experiences and that knowledge. But here it is. So I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. I hope that you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, let me know by dropping me a like, leaving me a comment, and subscribing. But until next time, y'all, we hope that you are all being safe out there and being kind to one another. We'll catch you in the next one. God bless you. Bye.